Today we're going to talk a little bit about multiple offers because it's happening a lot in our market right now. And the reason why I want to bring this up is I've had a couple multiple offers on my listings. He worked with quite a few buyers in the last couple months, and just last week he had 5 offers that all went into multiple offers. So in this market of multiple offers, and John, what are some of the things that you're coming across with your clients?
I've just been seeing a lot of confusion from the buyers because they're looking for us to see how high they need to go in price where we don't know exactly what those offers are at. And so I've just been coaching the buyers, just telling them to go as high as you're comfortable with because of normal market conditions, we just look up comparable solds and we can kind of base the price off of that. But that's not really working.
You know, it's kind of a crazy market, and usually we look up comparables, we can give an estimate, but everything's going so high, and it reminds me of 2006 when prices were extremely high. And the other piece of that is coaching someone, here's what the pricing supports, except that some of those numbers are from last fall, and that same thing's going to be in front of an appraiser to appraise this property. So we have to go with our best gut guess during this because nobody really knows what price it's going to go for.
Right. And I've also had a couple offers where we had to write in on the appraisal a piece of everything.
That it would, even if it doesn't appraise.
Yeah.
That they would come up with the difference?
Yeah, they would come up with the difference up to a certain price for sure.
Right. Well, what's kind of interesting is, you've got like 20 other buyers that like this house and want it.
Right.
So that part has got to be comforting to a buyer, even if they might be bumping up the price, that when they want to go resell, there were other people that wanted this house when they bought it. So I just think that that's a tricky thing to navigate for a buyer to know, well, at what point do we just stop and say, okay, if it's beyond this, then I'm comfortable with not getting the house, right?
Yes. I think a lot of buyers are just scared right now because they don't want to pay too much for the house.
That's legitimate.
But I've been liking to coach my buyers by saying, like, there were multiple offers on this home, so there's a lot of people who do like this home, and they probably will in the future when you want to sell it.
Right. Another thing that I have seen with multiple offers is clients maybe aren't really ready to jump into buying, but then all of a sudden they see the home they want, and all of a sudden there's a last-minute scramble to get all their lending stuff in order. What have you seen with that?
So I've seen a lot of scrambling for sure. So I think the minute you even start looking online, I think you should be talking to a lender right away to kind of get the numbers you need and the right price point you want, because if you see a home that's over your budget but you really like it, then it's gonna be really hard to find the one you want in your budget.
Well, it's just having that confidence, like, okay, this is where I want to be, and to be really focused.
Yeah.
So the other thing is you have kind of a gut check of what feels right, and if you're okay if you don't get that house, we're not going to push you to go beyond what your gut level is. We want you to get the right home and lock it down if it's the home that you want, but we're never going to push you to go beyond what's a comfortable level for you. I think that's what's so important when you're buying a home, is you want to work with an agent that's going to be able to coach you. This person needs to be able to coach you through all the different levels of an offer, how to make yours the most appealing.
At the Craig Group, we just want our buyers to have the best experience possible, and these are the steps that are going to make it very smooth.
Yes.